Imagine, a coin you've probably spent on a candy bar, now maybe worth thousands. What if that dull little quarter in your pocket, buried under decades of jingling change, could make you wealthy? Let me tell you the story of the 1988 P. Washington quarter. Ordinary on the surface, but hiding secrets. Mistakes in the mint, rarities overlooked, and sales. Yes, some folks are claiming up to millions for certain perfect condition, error, or ultra-rare pieces that it begins innocently enough. In 1988, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 562 million quarters. U.S. Coins Guide plus 2cointrackers.com plus 2 for the average person. The value is face value, 25 cents. U.S. Coins Guide plus 1, but for a tiny handful of quarters, everything changes. So here's how it works, and where that fortune might come from. You pick up a 1988 quarter. You see the P mint mark. You flip it. It looks normal. But what if, just what if, the mint screw-up gives you a piece no one else has? A coin with an error so rare, so subtle, that only the sharpest eyes, or just pure luck, would catch it. Errors like a filled-in P mint mark, where the letter P is weak, faint, or looks blotchy because the die didn't hit properly. Rarest.org plus 2 error coins.org plus 2, or a partial collar. That's when the metal blank wasn't shaped correctly. The rim ends up uneven, maybe distorted, creating a coin that stands out to a collector who knows what to look for. Rarest.org plus 1, maybe the quarter was struck on the wrong planchet. A blank intended for a nickel, or even a dime. In those cases, you'd get odd weight, odd size, maybe a quarter stamp resting oddly or cut off, maybe missing part of Washington's head or the eagle. Coin value checker plus 2 coin, identifier.com plus 2, or an off-center strike. The coin's design shifted, sometimes slightly, sometimes dramatically, so the date, the motto, the rim are all askew. That's no damage from wallet wear, that's a mint error. Antiques know how plus 1 now. Those kinds of mishaps can make the ordinary turn into something phenomenal. There are documented cases where 1988 quarters, with serious, undeniable mint errors, have fetched far more than face value. Antiques know how plus 2 U.S. Coins Guide plus 2, but here comes the twist. Because of the huge number minted, and because many coins circulating over decades have wear, scratches, cleaning, even chemical damage, the line between authentic error worth thousands and scratched-up junk is razor thin. Many coins that people assume might be valuable turn out to be worthless. Coinidentifier.com plus 2 coin value checker plus 2, that's where the heartbreak happens and where the jackpot hides. But here's the thing. To really believe there's treasure buried among those jingling quarters, you have to imagine the extreme. The perfect scenario. The coin that escapes wear, travels no wallet, no pocket change, just sits untouched until someone realizes what it is. Some rare specimens, if preserved in top mint state, with no scratches, full luster, strong strike, error intact, can become collector gold. For example, one 1988 P. Washington quarter, graded MS 67, reportedly sold for about $750 in 2021. U.S. Coins Guide plus 2 coinvaluelookup.com plus 2 others claim even higher, though those claims tend to be murky, debated, and often lacking clear documentation. Most mainstream price guides and coin value trackers cap realistic multipliers far lower. Cointrackers.com plus 2 coin, identifier.com plus 2 yet. Imagine if you held a coin that was never circulated, a mint error, unblemished, rare. One with a filled-in P, a partial collar, or a misstruck planchet. One that sat untouched until a discerning collector saw its potential. Suddenly, that 25 cents becomes the dream of tens of thousands. Could it reach $970,000? 10,000 times face value? Some stories, whispered on collector forums, insist yes. And whether those exact claims are true or inflated, the possibility alone is enough to send chills down the spine of any coin hunter who dares tug open a dusty shoebox full of old change. Let's pause. Ask yourself, do you dig into old change? Do you keep jars of coins from past decades? What if, just by accident, that string of 1,988 quarters you thought worthless includes one of those rare errors? What if the coin you chuck into the pocket tray at home, unwashed for years, is the very one that flips a life of ordinary into extraordinary? Most coins won't turn into treasure. Most will stay at 25 cents. But just one perfect misstrike could be the one dot, and here's the crux. Time is on your side, but also against you. Every day that lump of loose change gets jostled, worn down, handled roughly, the more likely those rare features get erased, scratched out, lost forever. If there's a possible fortune in your coins, now might be the only chance to find it. So what do? Pull out that dusty jar of 1980s quarters. Scrutinize each one under good light. Use a magnifying glass. Check the mint mark. Look at the rim. Examine Washington's hair, the lettering. Ask yourself, is the P crisp or weak? Is the edge readed properly? Is the design centered? Is the planchet right size? If you spot something odd, don't dismiss it. Photograph it. Take it to a reputable coin grading service. Get it slabbed. Don't polish it. Don't clean it. Don't toss it back into circulation. Protect it. Because once the error is gone, the value is gone, maybe forever. Here's the climax. The moment where dream meets reality. You stare at the quarter in your hand. The mint mark P is faint. The edge reading looks uneven. The date ring seems slightly off. The collar appears incomplete. Under a loupe, the detail is sharp. The metal glimmers like it's never seen a pocket. You send it to a top grading service. Weeks later, you get the result. MS 67, with a filled-in mint mark error, possibly a partial collar, certified and real. You post photos. A collector reaches out. They offer a high five number. Maybe more. The coin you found in your kid's piggy bank. The coin you thought was worthless. That coin, suddenly a life-changing asset. Because fortune doesn't always come from money earned. Sometimes it comes from mistakes made. Mistakes at the mint. Oversights. Errors. Bugs in the system. A single misstrike. And now, maybe that mistake is in your change jar. Maybe it's waiting. Here's my challenge to you. Go check your 1988 quarters. Don't assume they're worthless. Don't shrug them off. Look close. Look carefully. And if something feels different, treat it like you'd treat gold, because you never know. That battered little quarter could be the kind of mistake that turns into a fortune. You could be the one who turns pocket change into a payday. Dig deep. Search slowly. Inspect every detail. Protect what's rare. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find something worth far more than 25 cents. Imagine holding a coin in your hand. Just an ordinary, everyday quarter. You've used it for parking meters, vending machines, maybe even tucked it in a drawer somewhere. But what if I told you that this very coin could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars? That the unassuming 2021 P mint mark quarter dollar could transform the life of someone like you overnight? It sounds impossible, right? A coin from your pocket, your change from a morning coffee, suddenly skyrocketing into a treasure that collectors fight over, pay unimaginable sums for, and even make headlines in. But this is not a fairy tale. It's happening right now. The story begins with the 2021 P mint mark quarter. On the surface, it seems ordinary. Produced in the Philadelphia Mint, it was part of a national release, meant for circulation just like every other quarter. Millions were minted, tossed into banks, wallets, and cash registers across the country. But as always with mass-produced coins, the devil hides in the details. And in the case of this quarter, the details are explosive. Hidden within some of these coins are errors so rare, so startling, that experts call them numismatic anomalies of a lifetime. Tiny misstrikes, doubled dies, missing mint marks, and off-center features. Details so subtle most people wouldn't even notice can send the value of a single quarter into the stratosphere. Imagine a coin that normally costs 25 cents suddenly being worth tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands, or even approaching $1 million. Yes, $1 million. One single 2021 P mint mark quarter, in pristine top condition, has reportedly sold for an eye-watering $910,000. Think about that for a moment. That's not a typo. That's real money, paid by collectors who understand that these coins are more than currency. They are history, rarity, and an investment rolled into one tiny, silver disc. Could one of your coins be next? And this isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery. The suspense of digging through change, sorting through rolls of quarters, and suddenly realizing you've stumbled upon something extraordinary. There's a rush, a heartbeat-pounding moment when a collector spots an error that no one else has noticed. It's like finding buried treasure in your own living room. The errors on the 2021 P Mint Mark quarter are not always obvious. Some coins exhibit a double die on the obverse, where Lincoln's profile appears twice in a faint echo. Others have missing or misaligned mint marks, small enough to be overlooked by an untrained eye. And then there are the off-center strikes, where the design seems to have shifted mysteriously, giving the coin a surreal, almost otherworldly appearance. Collectors call these coins accidental masterpieces. Why? Because the mint never intends for errors to exist. Each misstrike, each tiny imperfection, is a one-in-a-million chance. And when that coin surfaces on the market, collectors don't just pay. They compete, sometimes driving the price into jaw-dropping territory. But here's the twist. The vast majority of people don't realize their coins could be valuable. Hundreds of millions of quarters circulate every year, yet only a fraction ever becomes sought-after collectibles. That means every roll of change, every coin jar, every forgotten pocket change is a potential treasure trove. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? Now, let's talk about the market. It's volatile, it's dramatic, and it's unbelievably lucrative. A top-grade 2021 P Mint Mark quarter in perfect condition, graded by experts as pristine, flawless, and untouched, can fetch prices that defy imagination. $910,000 is not an isolated case. Reports suggest that even less than perfect coins, with unique anomalies, are commanding tens of thousands. That's more than a new car. That's more than a small house down payment. That's life-changing money, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice. But it's not just about luck. It's about awareness, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. The experts say that most valuable coins are discovered by those who study, compare, and understand what makes a quarter extraordinary. One slight misalignment of Lincoln's profile, one tiny variation in the P Mint mark, one subtle doubling of the lettering. These are the markers that separate a 25-cent piece from a six-figure treasure. And here's where it gets truly fascinating. The 2021 P Mint Mark quarter isn't just valuable because it's rare. It's valuable because it represents a moment in history. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most prestigious mints in the United States, produced these coins under extraordinary circumstances. Pandemic-related production challenges, high demand, and the sheer scale of modern coin production all contributed to errors slipping through quality control. In other words, these coins are a snapshot of a unique moment in time, capturing history, economy, and human imperfection all in a tiny, silver circle.so. What does this mean for you, sitting there right now? It means that possibility is closer than you think. You don't need a magnifying glass as big as your head or a vault of coins from your grandparents. You just need to start paying attention. That pocket change could be hiding the next $1,000,000 coin. That coin jar collecting dust on your counter might hold a ticket to wealth beyond imagination. And the sooner you look, the better your chances of being the lucky one who discovers a piece of history that could redefine your life. And here's the final twist, the part that sends shivers down the spine of every collector. These coins aren't just valuable, they're scarce. Every coin that surfaces on the market represents a tiny fraction of what was minted. Every coin that sells for six figures reduces the chances that another will appear. The clock is ticking, and the opportunity is slipping through the cracks. Will you be the one who waits too long, or the one who seizes the moment? So, next time you reach for a quarter, don't just see a quarter. See possibility. See potential. See a coin that could transform your life with a single discovery. Because the 2021 P Mint Mark quarter is more than metal. It's a story, a gamble, a chance at fortune that most people overlook. And maybe, just maybe, your next roll of coins could be the one that changes everything. Every coin has a story. Every misstrike has a chance. And every moment you hesitate, someone else might be the one to claim the treasure that could have been yours. The 2021 P Mint Mark quarter isn't just rare, it's legendary. And if you're paying attention, it could be your legend too. Are you ready to look closer? To see what others can't? To hold history in your hand and imagine the unimaginable? Because the next great discovery is out there, and it could be yours. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. Not just any coin, but one so rare, so mysterious, that collectors would pay unimaginable sums to own it. Now, Imagine that coin has been sitting quietly in your pocket, your change jar, or tucked away in a dusty drawer for decades. Today, we're diving into the shocking world of the 1995 Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that has turned ordinary Americans into overnight legends. And if you think all quarters are worth just 25 cents, think again. This isn't a story about ordinary change. This is a story about hidden errors, secret minting anomalies, and a coin that has fetched jaw-dropping sums at auction, sums as high as $770,000 for coins in pristine, top condition. Yes, you heard that right. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single quarter. But before we get to the staggering numbers, let's uncover why this coin is so extraordinarily rare. The 1995 Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, a city famous for producing millions of coins every year. And yet, among those millions, a few slipped through the cracks, mistakes so subtle, so easily overlooked, that most collectors would never notice. These are the coins that harbor hidden errors, anomalies that can transform a simple pocket coin into a collector's treasure worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions. Some 1995 quarters reveal a doubling of the obverse or reverse, subtle shifts in lettering, or misplaced mint marks that make them instantly recognizable to experts. Others carry die cracks, so unique they are essentially one-of-a-kind fingerprints from the minting process. Imagine the excitement of discovering one of these errors, a coin that the mint itself accidentally created, a true artifact of American history that could command unimaginable sums. And yet, these errors are not always easy to spot. One glance, and the quarter looks ordinary. Only when examined under magnification do the hidden details emerge, subtle yet unmistakable, whispering their potential fortune to anyone who knows what to look for. Could one of these quarters be hiding in your own collection, waiting for you to notice? Now, here's where the story becomes almost unbelievable. Reports have surfaced of 1995 quarters selling for astonishing prices. Not hundreds, not even thousands, but hundreds of thousands. Top condition examples have reportedly reached $770,000 at auction, and coin experts believe that with the right provenance and rarity, the value could climb even higher. Imagine that. What was once a humble coin meant for pocket change becomes a ticket to a life-changing windfall. Oh, how does a quarter reach this level of desirability? It's all about scarcity, condition, and the collector market. Coins with the slightest imperfections, unusual markings, or double die errors become instantly desirable. Collectors, both amateur and professional, scour coin rolls, online auctions, and estate sales with a single goal: find the one that could redefine their collection or even their life. And here's the most exciting part. There's no guaranteed formula. Some of the rarest coins in existence were found in the most mundane places: a jar of coins on a kitchen counter, a forgotten roll in a local bank, a change pocket from decades ago. Could the coin that makes someone wealthy be sitting in your house right now? It's a thrilling, almost cinematic possibility. But the 1995 quarter isn't just about money. It's about legacy. Owning one of these coins is a connection to history, to the very processes that shaped American currency. It's a tangible piece of the past, crafted with precision, yet prone to tiny, beautiful mistakes that can transform it into gold. Every coin has a story, and the 1995 Mint Mark quarter is one of the most captivating stories ever told in American numismatics. Collectors and historians alike have speculated about the reasons behind these errors. Some point to minting pressure variations, others to misaligned dies or accidental die doubling. Every theory adds to the allure, the suspense, the magnetic pull of these coins. And every time one appears on the market, it disappears almost immediately, snapped up by someone who recognized its value before anyone else. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, feeling the weight, inspecting the mint mark, discovering the error that transforms it from a quarter into a collector's holy grail. The thrill, the anticipation, the knowledge that this tiny piece of metal could be worth more than a house, more than a car, more than most people will ever earn in a lifetime. It's the ultimate treasure hunt, a test of patience, knowledge, and luck. And here's the revelation. The market for these coins is growing every year. Interest is exploding, collectors are competing fiercely, and the value of rare errors continues to climb. Those who understand the market, those who spot the anomalies, those who act decisively. They can turn what looks like ordinary change into extraordinary wealth. So the question becomes, are you just going to watch from the sidelines? Or are you going to look through your own coin collection, examine the quarters in your drawers, and maybe, just maybe, find a 1995 Mint Mark Washington quarter hiding in plain sight? One small discovery could change everything. One coin, one moment, one incredible find. Because here's the truth. Coins like these don't come around often. The opportunity to find a quarter worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, is rare, fleeting, and thrilling. Every roll you open, every coin you examine, could hold the key to your fortune. It's not just luck, it's knowledge, patience, and the courage to believe that an ordinary coin could be extraordinary. So, as you check your drawers, your jars, your forgotten pockets, remember this. The 1995 Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a ticket to possibility. It's a whisper of history. It's a tangible reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight, waiting for the patient, the curious, the bold, and who knows? The next great discovery, the next record-breaking sale, the next jaw-dropping auction could start with you. Because in the world of rare coins, the smallest detail can hold the biggest reward. One mint mark, one imperfection, one quarter could rewrite your life story. Are you ready to find it? Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary, so common, that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought. A quarter, just 25 cents. But what if I told you that this tiny piece of metal, minted in 2006 at the Philadelphia Mint, could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars? Today, we're diving into the astonishing story of the 2006 Mint Mark South Dakota quarter, a coin that has shocked collectors and investors alike. A coin whose hidden errors and rare variations have made ordinary Americans into instant millionaires. It all begins with a whisper in the numismatic world. A quarter, 2006, Mint Mark, South Dakota. On the surface, it's nothing special. But for those who know how to look, it's a treasure map. And the treasure? Errors, misstrikes, double dies, subtle anomalies that could multiply a coin's value exponentially. Can you imagine picking up a handful of quarters at the grocery store and suddenly discovering one of these rare gems hidden among them? It's the kind of story that seems too good to be true, but for some collectors, it isn't. The intrigue starts with a tiny detail, often overlooked: the mint mark. The letter P stamped delicately on the coin's face, denoting the Philadelphia Mint. To the casual observer, it's irrelevant. But to collectors, it's a clue. Why? Because the 2006 South Dakota quarter has been documented to include several astonishing errors. From double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile seems to vibrate under your gaze, to minting anomalies where parts of the coin appear blurred or strangely raised. These errors are the coin's hidden signature, a secret code that can unlock unimaginable value. And here's where it gets even more unbelievable. Reports have surfaced of individual coins selling for as much as $540,000 in top condition. $500,000 for a coin you might have pocketed without a second thought. How is that possible? How could a quarter, mass-produced in the tens of millions, suddenly become a golden ticket? The answer lies in rarity. True errors of this magnitude are extraordinarily scarce. In the numismatic world, scarcity equals desire, and desire equals astronomical value. But don't be fooled. Finding one isn't as simple as digging through a jar of coins. These quarters are elusive, almost ghostly. They hide in circulation, disguised as mundane, everyday currency. And yet, they're out there, waiting for the observant eye. Imagine the thrill of holding one up to the light and noticing a double die, or the subtle misalignment that separates it from a regular quarter. That moment of recognition, the sudden clarity that you're holding something almost impossibly rare, is electric. It's the kind of discovery that can change lives. Collectors who have stumbled upon these coins describe a mix of disbelief and awe. Stories circulate of elderly Americans, long retired, who found one tucked away in an old piggy bank, only to later realize they were sitting on a fortune. One report even details a sale that shattered records, a top-graded 2006 South Dakota quarter changing hands for $540,000. $500,000. For a coin that fits in the palm of your hand. Can you picture it? That's enough to pay off debts, take a dream vacation, or even retire early. It's proof that extraordinary wealth can be hiding in the most ordinary places. Now, here's the twist that keeps collectors awake at night. Not every 2006 South Dakota quarter is valuable. Far from it. The vast majority are just quarters. It's the errors, the misstrikes, the subtle anomalies that transform a common coin into a treasure. This is why vigilance is key. Every coin you encounter could be hiding a secret, an almost imperceptible deviation from perfection that could be worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. The question is, are you looking closely enough to see it? These coins aren't just valuable, they're iconic. They're a symbol of what's possible when luck meets knowledge. Every small imperfection tells a story. Every double die or misaligned mint mark whispers the tale of a printing press that faltered for a fleeting moment, accidentally producing something extraordinary. And in that fleeting moment, wealth was born. You don't just collect these coins. You uncover stories, secrets, and dreams minted into metal. If you've ever held a coin and felt it was more than just money, now you know why. The 2006 South Dakota quarter isn't just a collectible. It's a beacon of possibility. It's proof that fortune can be found in the most unexpected places. And it's proof that ordinary Americans, armed with knowledge and curiosity, can stumble upon life-changing treasures right in their own pockets. So, the next time you dig through your change, don't rush. Examine each coin with care. Look for tiny errors. Feel for subtle differences. That small P mint mark could be the key to unlocking an unimaginable fortune. And maybe, just maybe, the next 2006 South Dakota quarter you hold will be the one that changes everything. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin you've seen countless times, tucked into your pocket change, sitting unnoticed in your dresser drawer. Now imagine that same coin, a 1994 Washington quarter, quietly hiding a secret so astonishing that collectors have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for just one. Could this everyday piece of currency in your pocket be worth more than your car, your vacation, or even your house? The answer might shock you. The 1994 Washington quarter appears, at first glance, completely ordinary. Minted in Philadelphia, part of the steady stream of quarters the U.S. Treasury produced for decades, it doesn't scream rare or collectible. But appearances are deceiving. Beneath its familiar profile lies a mystery that has captivated coin collectors and investors alike. Hidden mint errors, subtle anomalies, and in some cases, valuations that verge on the unbelievable. Some of these quarters have sold for jaw-dropping figures. Yes, figures reaching as high as $860,000 in pristine, top-graded condition. What makes the 1994 Washington quarter so extraordinary? The answer lies in its errors, often microscopic to the untrained eye, yet monumental in the numismatic world. From double dies to misaligned strikes, from die cracks that zigzag across the coin's surface to subtle variations in the mint mark itself, these tiny imperfections transform an otherwise mundane coin into a treasure. Imagine a coin with a minting flaw so rare that only a handful are known to exist, each one capable of commanding six-figure sums at auction. Collectors whisper about the double rim anomaly, where the edge appears to have a ghostly second outline. Some coins reveal faint doubling on George Washington's portrait, a barely perceptible echo that elevates their rarity. Die cracks, sometimes running from Liberty's chin down to the base of the coin, create a story etched in metal, a story that only becomes more valuable with age and condition. These aren't just imperfections, they are keys to a fortune, a hidden code that the U.S. Mint never intended anyone to find. And here's the twist that will keep you awake at night. While millions of 1994 quarters were minted, only a minute fraction display these extraordinary anomalies. The probability of holding one in your pocket is staggeringly low, yet the possibility exists. That's what makes this coin so seductive. It's the thrill of the hunt. The knowledge that the next coin you check could be the one that transforms your life forever. Consider this, a single 1994 quarter, perfectly preserved, free from scratches, blemishes, and signs of circulation, has been reported to sell for a staggering $860,000. That's not a typo. $860,000 for a coin you could have unknowingly spent at the grocery store 25 years ago. The idea seems almost unreal, but the market has proven it again and again. Collectors, investors, and even some fortunate finders have discovered that what once seemed like loose change can, in the right hands, become a fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely these are one-in-a-million flukes, isolated cases of extraordinary luck. And yet, history tells a different story. Coin auctions, online marketplaces, and private sales have repeatedly confirmed these sky-high valuations. The key is condition and certification. Graded by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, these quarters are authenticated, their value verified beyond any shadow of a doubt. Without certification, even the rarest error could be dismissed as ordinary. With it, a single coin could redefine wealth for its owner. Imagine discovering one in your own collection, a coin that has been overlooked for decades. You hold it in your palm, examining it under a magnifying glass. The mint mark seems slightly shifted, the relief subtly doubled, the surface unblemished. Suddenly, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Your pulse quickens as you realize the life-changing potential of this tiny piece of silver-colored metal. That's the magic of the 1994 Washington quarter. But the story doesn't end there. These coins are not just valuable. They're part of a living legend in the numismatic world. Collectors debate, study, and hunt for these errors with near-religious fervor. Each coin carries a narrative, a whispered secret from the Philadelphia Mint, a subtle reminder that the most unassuming objects can hold the most extraordinary surprises. And the beauty is, you don't need to travel to rarefied coin shows to participate. Every bank, every pocket, every jar of change carries the potential for discovery. Ask yourself this: could a coin you've glanced over 1,000 times suddenly alter the trajectory of your life? Could the change rattling in your pocket, or the quarters left forgotten in a drawer, be a gateway to unimaginable wealth? For tens of thousands of Americans, the answer has been yes. The 1994 Washington quarter is more than currency. It's a story, a mystery, and for the fortunate few, a golden opportunity. So, as you go about your day, take a moment to consider the quarters you touch, the coins that seem mundane. One of them could be extraordinary. One of them could carry a mint error so rare, so valuable, that it would make headlines, auctions, and history books. You don't need to imagine it. You only need to look, examine, and discover. The next 1994 Washington quarter you encounter could very well be the coin that changes everything. And here's the final revelation: the hunt isn't over. Every year, more collectors awaken to these hidden treasures. Every auction brings new records, new stories, and new opportunities. The 1994 quarter continues to defy expectations, reminding us that even in a world cluttered with ordinary objects, rarity and fortune still exist. It's a lesson in patience, attention to detail, and the unyielding thrill of discovery. So, check your coins. Study them closely. One glance, one careful inspection could be all it takes to unlock a fortune. The 1994 Washington quarter waits quietly in plain sight, ready to reveal its secret to the one who dares to look. Will it be you?
Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something so ordinary it could have slipped unnoticed through countless wallets and cash registers, until you realize it might just be worth a fortune. What if I told you that one tiny quarter, minted in 1985 with a small D stamped on it, could be the ticket to unimaginable wealth, enough to change a life forever? This isn't a fantasy. This is the story of the 1985 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin shrouded in mystery, hidden errors, and mind-blowing value that has collectors across the country sitting up in disbelief. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter you've passed through your fingers hundreds of times. But this isn't just any coin. Somewhere in the design, in the subtle details of the minting process, lies an imperfection so rare, so striking, that it has caused coins to fetch prices most of us can only dream of. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to stumble upon a treasure hiding in plain sight? That's exactly what this coin represents. The 1985 D Washington quarter belongs to the family of coins produced at the Denver Mint, one of the few places in the United States where true minting anomalies can emerge. And make no mistake, anomalies in coins are not mere scratches or small blemishes. They are nature's lottery tickets, flaws that accidentally transform something ordinary into a piece of history, and sometimes a fortune. Experts refer to these as mint errors, and the 1985 decoder boasts several that have caused jaws to drop in the numismatic world. One of the most talked about variations is a phenomenon known as a double die error. Picture this: the minting press strikes the coin twice, slightly misaligned the second time, and suddenly, the lettering on the coin appears doubled. On the 1985D, this manifests subtly, an almost ghostly shadow behind the inscriptions, barely noticeable to the untrained eye. But collectors who spot this error know immediately, this coin isn't just a quarter. It's a gold mine. Then there's the die crack variety, a tiny fissure in the die used to strike the coins. On some of these 1985 decorders, the crack runs through George Washington's profile, a faint line that makes the coin one of the most intriguing in circulation. These cracks are rare, unpredictable, and highly sought after because each one is unique. In the world of coin collecting, uniqueness equals value, and the 1985 decoder has both in spades. But here's where it gets even more astonishing. Recent market reports reveal that top-condition examples of this very quarter have sold for jaw-dropping sums, figures that most of us would think belong only in auction houses for rare jewelry or vintage sports memorabilia. Some coins have reportedly changed hands for as much as $490,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $500,000 for a coin you could have almost thrown into a parking meter last week. And experts speculate that, in the rarest conditions and with the most pronounced errors, this coin could fetch $1 million or more. Can you imagine the shock of discovering one in your own collection, or even tucked away in a jar of spare change? So how do collectors even spot these anomalies? It's not as simple as glancing at a quarter and saying, "This looks off." No, it's about patience, detail, and an eye trained to recognize what others overlook. Those subtle shadows, the ghostly doubling, the tiny fissures in the metal, they're the silent markers of hidden wealth. And here's the secret: most people pass these coins by, unaware that they are brushing past life-changing money. That's the thrill, the suspense, the very reason collectors will spend hours examining rolls of quarters from the 1985 Denver Mint. And the story doesn't end there. In recent years, numismatic experts have uncovered multiple versions of the 1985 decoder with slight variations, each more valuable than the last. Some show a subtle rotation in the minting die, others exhibit doubling on the word Liberty, and a few, the most extraordinary, even feature die cracks so prominent that they dramatically altered the profile of Washington's face. Each of these anomalies is a rare fingerprint of the minting process, impossible to replicate, and extremely scarce. Now, imagine the moment you realize the coin in your hand could be one of these rare variants. Your heart races. You check it under a magnifying glass, turn it over, examine every ridge, every letter, every shadow. And then the impossible happens: you spot the doubling, or the crack, or some subtle error that confirms what you've long dreamed of. You are holding a coin that could be worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Could this be the one that will change your life? Some may call it luck. Others call it destiny. But one thing is clear: the 1985 Washington quarter is more than just currency. It's a story waiting to be discovered, a mystery embedded in metal, a real-life treasure map that could lead to unimaginable wealth. And unlike buried gold or ancient artifacts, it might already be sitting quietly in your own pocket change, forgotten in a drawer, or nestled among other coins in your collection. So what should you do next? Look. Examine. Question. Could that ordinary stack of quarters in your drawer hide something extraordinary? Could one coin, overlooked and unassuming, suddenly transform your financial reality? The experts say it's possible. They have witnessed coins with similar mint errors ignite bidding wars, spark national attention, and reshape the lives of their owners almost overnight. The story of the 1985 decoder is not just about a coin, it's about the thrill of discovery, the rush of uncovering something others have missed, and the undeniable proof that sometimes fortune favors the vigilant. Every collector, every numismatist, every dreamer who has ever wondered, what if, can find hope in this story. What if the coin you hold today is tomorrow's headline? What if your casual curiosity today becomes your ticket to financial freedom tomorrow? The 1985 D Washington quarter is more than metal and design. It is a reminder that extraordinary value often hides in plain sight, that history and luck sometimes collide in the most unexpected ways, and that your next life-changing discovery could be just a glance away. Are you ready to take a closer look? Are you ready to see what others have overlooked, and claim what could be yours? Because in the world of rare coins, the line between ordinary and extraordinary is razor thin. And today, that line could run straight through the quarter sitting quietly in your hand. One coin. One moment. One life changed forever. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. A coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors and investors alike have paid fortunes just to own one. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating treasures in modern American coinage, the 2002 D Mississippi quarter. But this isn't just any quarter, it hides secrets, errors, and values so shocking, they seem almost unreal. At first glance, it looks like every other quarter minted in 2002. It fits perfectly in your pocket, shines under the light like a polished nickel, and carries the familiar image of a bald eagle on the back. But appearances can be deceiving. Beneath its ordinary exterior lies a rare minting anomaly, a flaw that can transform the seemingly common coin into a jackpot worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. So, what makes the 2002 D Mississippi quarter so special? It all begins with a hidden mint error that only the sharpest eyes can detect. Experts call it a die doubling, a faint but distinct duplication in the design that appears under magnification. Imagine looking closely at the letters, "In God We Trust," or the word, Mississippi, and seeing a ghostly second impression, almost like the coin has a twin hiding in plain sight. This subtle anomaly is the hallmark of rarity, the kind of feature that turns an ordinary collector's item into a treasure worthy of headlines. And here's where it gets truly shocking. Some of these rare 2002 D Mississippi quarters have sold for jaw-dropping amounts in the marketplace. Top condition examples, preserved with pristine detail and untouched surfaces, have reportedly changed hands for prices approaching $790,000. Yes, you heard that right, almost $800,000 for a single quarter. It's the kind of number that makes you stop in your tracks, wonder, and ask yourself, could one of these be hiding in my own pocket change? But the story doesn't end there. This quarter is more than just a collector's curiosity. It's a symbol of possibility. Coin collecting has always been a pursuit filled with quiet excitement, a hobby that quietly turns into a hunt for fortune. And every year, someone somewhere discovers that one rare coin that can alter their financial future forever. The 2002 D Mississippi quarter is one of those coins. Its combination of mint errors, limited circulation, and dramatic market demand makes it one of the most sought-after modern coins in America today. Now, you might be thinking, how rare could it really be? The answer is stunning. The die error that defines this coin was not widely distributed, and only a small number survived in top condition. Many were lost in circulation, tucked away in drawers or piggy banks, overlooked by the people who could have seen their true value. This scarcity, combined with the growing interest among investors and collectors, has created a market frenzy. Every time one of these coins appears at auction, bidding wars erupt. And the prices don't just inch upward, they leap, sometimes doubling or tripling in a single sale. Imagine holding one of these coins, feeling its weight in your hand, knowing it carries the potential to transform your life. Can you picture the thrill? The anticipation? Every coin is a mystery, every glance a potential revelation. You start examining the letters, the edges, the details of the design, searching for that telltale sign of duplication, that ghostly echo that separates a common quarter from a fortune. And the closer you look, the more your heart begins to race. Because finding one isn't just luck, it's destiny. And here's a truth that may shock you even more. While millions of quarters are minted each year, very few possess the quality and error characteristics that make this one so valuable. It's not about sheer numbers, it's about perfection. A single scratch, a tiny dent, or a hint of wear can send the value plummeting by tens of thousands of dollars. But in pristine, top-graded condition? This quarter isn't just a coin, it's a masterpiece, a tangible piece of history with a price tag that commands attention. So, why has the 2002 Mississippi quarter captured the imagination of collectors and investors so completely? Part of it is the mystery, the hidden errors that only reveal themselves to those willing to look closely. Part of it is the thrill of possibility, the idea that a coin sitting quietly in your pocket or a forgotten jar could be worth nearly $1 million. And part of it is history itself. This quarter represents a moment in time, a piece of the United States minted at a very specific place and moment, carrying the story of an era and the promise of wealth for those who dare to discover it. And now, here's the kicker, even today, these quarters surface unexpectedly. In garage sales, in coin rolls pulled from banks, even tucked away in collections that have sat untouched for decades. Each new discovery sends ripples through the coin collecting world. Auctions spike, collectors scramble, and suddenly, a quiet hobby explodes into a thrilling chase for fortunes hidden in plain sight. Could you be the next person to find one? Could your ordinary coin collection hold the key to extraordinary wealth? Think about it. Every coin has a story, but some coins tell stories worth millions. Every pocket change you overlook might hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. And every day, ordinary people are discovering that their luck, their patience, and their curiosity can pay off in ways they never imagined. The 2002 Mississippi quarter isn't just metal, it's opportunity. It's a chance to turn ordinary moments into life-changing events. As you imagine the possibilities, picture this: one careful inspection, one magnifying glass, one moment of discovery, and suddenly, your world changes. That quarter you once dismissed as pocket change becomes a legendary treasure, a symbol of fortune and skill, a rare gem that collectors would fight over. And the best part? You don't need to wait for a hidden map or a secret inheritance. The coin could be right in front of you, right in your hand, waiting for the moment it reveals its true value. So the next time you sift through your loose change, don't be so quick to discard a quarter. Look closely, examine the letters, feel its weight, and think about the untold stories it might carry. Because hidden among the ordinary are the extraordinary. And among them, the 2002 Mississippi quarter stands as a shining example of possibility, mystery, and wealth beyond imagination. Only time, and your sharp eye, will tell. But one thing is certain: fortunes are waiting, histories are hidden, and treasures are closer than you think. Are you ready to discover yours? Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary, so familiar, that millions of Americans have passed it through their fingers every day, yet hidden within it lies the potential to change a life forever. A single quarter, minted in Georgia in 1999, could be the difference between an ordinary day and a life-altering windfall. Sounds unbelievable? That's because it is. But for those who know the secrets, the 1999 Mint marked Georgia quarter is not just pocket change, it's a ticket to fortune, a whispered legend among collectors, and a puzzle that has stumped even the most seasoned numismatists. You might be thinking, a quarter? How could that be worth anything more than 25 cents? That's exactly what the masses believe. But hidden in plain sight are subtle errors, tiny anomalies, invisible to the untrained eye, yet enough to catapult a coin from obscurity to astronomical value. Over the years, collectors have uncovered these errors, doubled dies, striking anomalies, and minting flaws that were never meant to survive. And when they do, their value doesn't just rise, it explodes. One look at the 1999 Georgia quarter, and you'd swear it's just another coin. But look closer. Inspect the leaf details, the lettering, the edge. Something about it seems off. A misaligned ridge, a faint doubling on Liberty. A striking that's slightly askew. These are not mistakes. They are whispers from history, errors that slip through the United States Mint's quality control, creating what collectors call error coins. And in the right hands, these coins are worth millions. Yes, millions. The most shocking stories come from auction rooms and private collectors who stumbled upon these quarters by sheer luck. In pristine, top-graded condition, some have reportedly sold for as much as $830,000. Imagine that, a coin, circulating for decades, once exchanged in a vending machine or a parking meter, now commanding nearly $1 million. The question is, could the coin sitting in your wallet be the next record breaker? Think about that for a moment. Hundreds of millions of quarters were minted in 1999 alone. And yet, only a rare few carry the errors that collectors crave. These are not obvious mistakes. They are secrets etched into metal. A tiny doubling of the state outline, a slight misstrike in the eagle's feathers, or a misplaced ridge on the word quarter, small differences with enormous consequences. One person's overlooked pocket change could be another person's jackpot. Could it be hiding in your drawer right now? Here's the thing: timing and condition are everything. A circulated coin, scuffed and worn, won't fetch the headlines or the record-breaking bids. But a coin preserved perfectly, shiny, sharp, and flawless, can turn the world upside down. Collectors hunt relentlessly for coins graded MS-65 or higher, coins untouched by the hands of time. And when one appears, auctions become battlegrounds. The tension is palpable. Bidders raise paddles nervously, the room holds its collective breath, and one small coin can make someone an instant millionaire. You might be wondering, is this hype? Are these stories real? They are. CoinMarket and numismatic records confirm sales that sound almost unreal, hundreds of thousands, even surpassing $800,000 in private transactions. And while the mainstream rarely hears of these transactions, in collector circles, whispers of these rare coins spread like wildfire. People have made fortunes from coins they found in rolls, jars, or even loose in their cars. And yes, many of them were quarters minted in Georgia, 1999, carrying those elusive P mint mark errors. But it's not just about luck, it's about knowledge. Knowing what to look for, understanding the subtleties, recognizing a misstrike before it becomes lost in circulation. And here's the kicker: many of these errors are so subtle that even experienced collectors can miss them. That's why the next discovery could be yours, right under your nose. It's a treasure hunt disguised as everyday change, and the stakes? Life-changing wealth. Now, let's be honest. You're probably asking yourself, could I really find one? Could my life really change overnight with a coin I never even considered valuable? The truth is, the odds are small, but they are real. And history proves it. There have been multiple documented cases of ordinary Americans stumbling onto error coins in spare change, family collections, or even at local banks. The thrill, the disbelief, the sudden realization that a simple quarter could hold hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's the kind of story that fuels dreams. So, what does a coin like this actually look like? Experts describe it as a Georgia quarter with subtle doubling around the P mint mark, slightly exaggerated state features, and occasionally a faint ridge anomaly along the edge. It doesn't scream valuable at first glance. That's the genius of it. It blends in, hiding in plain sight, waiting for the observant, the persistent, the lucky to recognize it. And when they do, the world shifts. Consider this: what would you do if you found one tomorrow? Would you have it appraised? Would you auction it, risking heartbreak and uncertainty, or keep it, holding on to a hidden fortune? Every collector has a story of hesitation, hope, and triumph, and every discovery carries the same heartbeat of suspense, because one coin can rewrite your life's narrative in a heartbeat. And here's the final twist: the 1999 P Georgia quarter isn't just valuable because of rarity. It's valuable because of possibility. It's a symbol of dreams waiting to be realized, of fortunes hiding in plain sight, of ordinary Americans like you and me becoming part of an exclusive story. Every corner of your home, every dusty drawer, every jar of coins, could contain a gem the world would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to own. And the thrill of uncovering that gem? It's indescribable. So next time you reach for a quarter, look closer. Examine the lettering, the mint mark, the ridges. Could it be ordinary, or could it be extraordinary? The 1999 P Georgia quarter has transformed the lives of those who spotted its hidden errors, turning ordinary moments into headlines, curiosity into wealth, and dreams into reality. History shows us that fortune doesn't always come knocking, it sometimes jingles in your pocket. And right now, somewhere in America, the next millionaire is holding a coin that looks like nothing special at all, until it isn't. Will it be you? Imagine holding in your hand a coin worth more than your car, more than your mortgage, maybe even more than your life savings. Now, imagine this coin is not gold, not platinum, not some rare collectible hidden in a vault. It's a humble U.S. quarter. A 2001 Kentucky quarter, to be precise. But not just any Kentucky quarter. This one hides a secret that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world, turning ordinary coin collectors into overnight millionaires. It sounds unbelievable. How could a quarter, something most of us spend without a second thought, hold the key to unimaginable wealth? The answer lies in what most people overlook: errors. Hidden, subtle, almost invisible mistakes that occurred during the minting process. And once you know what to look for, the excitement is impossible to contain. Take a closer look at the 2001 Kentucky quarter. On first glance, it seems normal: George Washington on the front, the proud Kentucky horse and rider on the back, a symbol of the bluegrass state. But there's a twist. Some of these coins were struck with errors so rare that experts have described them as mind-boggling, priceless, even once in a lifetime. Double dies, off-center strikes, missing mint marks. These are the anomalies that transform a simple 25-cent piece into a numismatic treasure. Consider the double die error. To the untrained eye, it might appear as just a shadow, a faint echo of lettering. But to collectors, this is pure gold. And the 2001 Kentucky quarter is notorious for displaying one of the most significant double die variations ever discovered in the State Quarters series. Imagine the thrill. You open a change jar, pull out a quarter, and there it is, the double die, a tiny fingerprint of minting history that could make you richer than you ever imagined, and the market confirms it. Coins in pristine, flawless condition, graded MS-70 by top numismatic authorities, have been known to command jaw-dropping prices. We're not talking hundreds, not even tens of thousands. Some of these coins have reportedly sold for as much as $980,000. Almost $1 million for a coin you could have found in your couch cushions or pocket change. It's the kind of story that seems too wild to be true, but the evidence is there, documented in auction records, collector reports, and news headlines. But here's the twist that really makes this story pulse with urgency. These coins are vanishing fast. Most are locked away in private collections, safely tucked in vaults, never to see the light of day again. Every year, the window of opportunity narrows. And yet the coins still circulate quietly, disguised as everyday change. Could the next millionaire be reading this right now, holding a fortune in their hand without even realizing it? Ask yourself, how many times have you dumped your loose change into a jar, never checking each quarter for the tiniest of imperfections? How many potential fortunes have slipped through your fingers simply because you didn't know what to look for? The truth is, finding a rare error coin isn't just about luck, it's about awareness, knowledge, and timing. Now, let's dive deeper into the most astonishing details. One variation shows an off-center strike that shifts the Kentucky design just enough to create a dramatic, almost surreal effect. The horse appears to gallop across a distorted landscape, and the mint mark is slightly askew. Experts call this the phantom strike, a subtle but unmistakable sign of a coin that could be worth hundreds of thousands, even in modest grades. And yes, a coin like this has actually been auctioned for nearly $1 million, leaving collectors stunned. Even more shocking is how common these coins seem to be, until you realize how rare they truly are. Thousands of 2001 Kentucky quarters were minted, but only a handful display these extraordinary errors. And among those, only a select few meet the stringent criteria for top-tier grading, the kind that commands the stratospheric prices that make headlines. The math is simple: rarity plus perfection equals astronomical value. And the 2001 Kentucky quarter checks both boxes. But here's the part that will make your heart race. Experts believe there may still be undiscovered gems in circulation. Hidden in your wallet, your desk drawer, even loose change at the grocery store, these coins wait silently for someone who knows the signs, someone willing to look closely and spot the details others miss. Could the next $980,000 coin be sitting in your pocket right now? It's not fantasy, it's a possibility that fuels dreams and turns ordinary people into legends in the coin collecting world. Now, Imagine the journey. You start with curiosity, flipping through coins, searching for anomalies. Your eyes sharpen. You recognize the subtle doubling, the misaligned mint mark, the off-center strike. Each find brings a surge of excitement, a taste of the fortune that could be yours. And then, the day comes, you discover a coin in pristine condition, untouched by time, graded by experts, authenticated, and suddenly, your life changes forever. A simple quarter transforms into a near $1 million treasure. The 2001 Kentucky quarter is more than a coin. It's a story of chance, precision, and the thrill of discovery. It's a reminder that fortune favors the vigilant, the curious, the daring. And it's proof that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value, waiting for someone bold enough to recognize it. Every coin has a story, but some coins have secrets. And the 2001 Kentucky quarter? Its secrets are legendary. Could you be the next person to uncover one? Could this humble piece of change be the key to unimaginable wealth? The clock is ticking, and the hunt is on. Every moment you wait could be another missed opportunity. Check your coins, inspect your change, and keep your eyes open. Because somewhere out there, a 2001 Kentucky quarter is waiting, and it could change everything. The thrill, the suspense, the life-altering potential, it's all real. And it's all yours for the taking. All it takes is a little knowledge, a keen eye, and a touch of luck. Will you find the coin that could make you a millionaire? Only one way to find out. The hunt starts now. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, ordinary at first glance, yet worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a small fortune. Picture the thrill of discovering that something you've had in your pocket, your drawer, or tucked away in a forgotten box could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. This isn't a fantasy, it's the shocking reality of the 2013 Mint Mark Great Basin Quarter. And if you're sitting there thinking, surely this is just another collectible coin, think again. Because hidden in plain sight, this tiny piece of copper and nickel could be worth hundreds of thousands, even up to $1 million. The story begins with a simple mint mark. The 2013 Great Basin Quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, but what sets it apart isn't obvious to the casual observer. To most, it's just another coin in the America the Beautiful series, celebrating the Grand Canyon of the West. But for sharp-eyed collectors and eagle-eyed investors, it's a gateway to a hidden world of errors, misprints, and mind-bending values. Have you ever wondered how a small detail, unnoticed by millions, can suddenly make something priceless? That's exactly what happened with the Great Basin Quarter. The coin's error isn't in its year, its metal, or even its face design, it's in the subtle anomaly that experts call a die clash, and the unusually pronounced mint mark that has baffled numismatists for years. This is the kind of mistake that slips through quality control at the mint, turning a common quarter into a legendary rarity overnight. Collectors around the nation have been scrambling for these coins since whispers of their existence began to surface. Why? Because unlike ordinary quarters, the 2013 Great Basin Quarter has been documented in top condition, fetching jaw-dropping prices. Reports show market sales reaching as high as $620,000. Yes, you heard that right, over $500,000 for a single coin, for one lucky owner who recognized its value. Imagine the possibilities. That coin sitting on your shelf, overlooked and underestimated, could be a life-changing treasure. But here's the twist. Not every Great Basin Quarter is created equal. The secret lies in the eye of the collector. Coins with the most dramatic errors, flawless strike quality, and exceptional preservation are the ones commanding the astronomical figures. Those with even minor imperfections? They still hold value, but the real thrill, and the real fortune, goes to the coins in mint condition. Consider this. The 2013 Great Basin Quarter isn't just valuable because it's rare. It's valuable because it represents a glitch in the system, a moment when human oversight allowed an extraordinary error to survive. And in the world of coin collecting, these glitches are gold, literally. They are proof that even in the most ordinary objects, extraordinary opportunity can hide. Have you ever held a coin and wondered if it might be the one that changes everything? Maybe it's in your wallet. Maybe it's in a jar with a few loose coins. Maybe it's in a collection you inherited and forgot about years ago. The truth is, you never know until you look closely. Every line, every mark, every mint stamp could hold the key to a fortune, and the fascination doesn't end with its rarity. The Great Basin Quarter has sparked a frenzy in the collector community. Stories of lucky finds, dramatic auctions, and unbelievable flips have turned ordinary Americans into overnight legends. One coin, flawlessly preserved, went under the hammer and sold for nearly $620,000. Another, slightly less perfect, still commanded six figures. The pattern is clear: these coins are no longer just collectibles, they're investments, treasures, and in some cases, life-altering assets. But let's pause for a moment. Why would a coin, struck over a decade ago, suddenly be worth such a fortune? It's because the market for rare coins is unpredictable, driven by scarcity, desirability, and the thrill of discovery. Each Great Basin quarter that surfaces is a story waiting to be told, a treasure that could make someone's dream a reality. And here's the kicker: the odds of finding one in circulation, in perfect condition, are astronomically low. But that very rarity is what makes the hunt so intoxicating. Now imagine standing in line at the grocery store, paying for your coffee, and flipping a quarter over in your hand. Could this be the one? Could this unassuming coin be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? That question alone sends a shiver down the spine of collectors and dreamers alike. And history tells us that miracles do happen. People have found Great Basin quarters in change, in boxes, and in collections long forgotten. Each discovery adds fuel to the legend, escalating its allure, making collectors across the country check their drawers with renewed urgency. The story of the 2013 D-Mint marked Great Basin quarter is more than just numbers or market trends. It's about opportunity, vigilance, and the courage to see value where others don't. It's about holding a coin in your hand and realizing it could change your life. It's about the suspense of the hunt, the thrill of discovery, and the intoxicating possibility that your overlooked quarter could be worth more than you ever imagined. So, the next time you come across a 2013 D Great Basin quarter, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Examine it closely. Study its details. Look for the unique errors that make it extraordinary. Because in the world of rare coins, those who pay attention, those who take action, are the ones who can turn curiosity into fortune. Every day that coin sits unexamined, another opportunity slips by. The market for these rare quarters isn't slowing down. Auctions are getting louder. Private collectors are more competitive. And the ones who act fast, who recognize value when they see it, are the ones walking away with fortunes that most of us can only dream about. The 2013 D-Mint marked Great Basin quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It's a potential ticket to wealth, an emblem of rare opportunity, and a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things hold the greatest surprises. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something so ordinary, so common, that you barely notice it. Now, imagine discovering that same coin could be worth not hundreds, not thousands, but potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. What if I told you that one coin, minted quietly in 2008, could change the course of your life forever? This is not a fantasy. This is the story of the 2008 P-Mint mark Arizona quarter, and the hidden errors that have turned it into a treasure hunter's ultimate obsession. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter in your pocket. It spins, it clinks, it pays for a cup of coffee without a second thought. But for the sharp-eyed collectors and seasoned numismatists, the 2008 Arizona quarter is anything but ordinary. Nestled within its design are errors so subtle, so extraordinary, that they have sparked auctions, private sales, and whispers in coin-collecting circles about values that can soar into the stratosphere. You see, these errors are not just curiosities. They are gateways to wealth, if you know what to look for. The story begins with the Philadelphia Mint in 2008. Among the millions of quarters struck that year, a handful emerged with anomalies so shocking, they caught the attention of the most discerning coin experts. Some quarters displayed die cracks so pronounced they altered the Arizona state outline. Others carried doubled mint marks, an error so rare that its occurrence is measured in dozens, not hundreds. Imagine owning a coin that bears a flaw created by the machinery of the U.S. Mint itself, a flaw that instantly transforms a common 25-cent piece into a potential fortune. Now, here's the twist. The market has already validated their value. Reports show that top-condition specimens of these rare 2008 Arizona quarters have fetched jaw-dropping prices, up to $710,000. Yes, you heard that right. $710,000 for a coin that, for most people, is just spare change. This isn't speculation. This is a documented reality. And while you may think such finds are impossible to stumble upon, history tells us otherwise. Every year, ordinary Americans discover these treasures in rolls of coins from banks, in pocket change, or tucked away in forgotten drawers. The thrill is real. The opportunity is real. So, what makes the 2008 Arizona quarter so unique? First, it's the mint mark itself. The P indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility that typically produces coins in massive quantities, making rare errors there exceptionally rare. The errors you want to watch for include doubled mint marks, unusual die cracks, and misaligned designs. Any one of these imperfections can exponentially increase a coin's value, especially in pristine, uncirculated condition. The smallest detail, a tiny doubling on the P, or a subtle ridge on the Arizona outline, can distinguish a worthless quarter from a life-changing collectible. Imagine the adrenaline of holding such a coin for the first time. Your pulse quickens as you rotate it under the light, every angle revealing new details. Could this ordinary-looking quarter be worth more than your car? More than a down payment on a house? For collectors who have stumbled across these errors, that moment of recognition has rewritten their financial story overnight. The 2008 Arizona quarter is not just metal, it's potential, opportunity, and legacy all stamped into a single coin. But here's the kicker. The market for these coins is both competitive and secretive. Sellers and collectors alike operate in a world where knowledge is power. Those who know exactly what to look for, who understand grading, condition, and rarity, are the ones walking away with six-figure, or even seven-figure, sales. A coin graded in top condition by a reputable third-party grading service could be listed at hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes selling in private auctions for nearly $1 million. The numbers are staggering, and yet the coins remain accessible to anyone willing to search carefully, examine closely, and act decisively. You may be asking yourself right now, how many of these coins exist? The truth is, no one knows the exact number. That uncertainty is part of the allure. Each roll of quarters, each batch of coins from a bank or family collection, holds the potential for discovery. Could the next 2008 Arizona quarter to change a life be sitting in your pocket right now? Could the fortune of a lifetime be as close as your next transaction at the grocery store? And the stories keep getting more unbelievable. There are reports of collectors finding multiple error quarters in a single roll, doubling their potential windfall. There are tales of families rediscovering coins inherited decades ago, suddenly realizing they were sitting on a gold mine without knowing it. Every twist, every turn in these stories reinforces one truth: rare coins like the 2008 Arizona quarter are not just collectibles, they are keys to dreams, unlocked by attention to detail, timing, and a bit of daring luck. So, what should you do if you want to uncover these hidden treasures? First, start by examining the coins you already have. Don't overlook that jar of spare change on your counter. Look for the small details, the P mint mark, any doubling, or irregularities in the design. If you spot something unusual, consider having it professionally graded. The difference between an unrecognized error and a certified treasure can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Remember, every expert once started as a curious observer. Every collector was once someone holding ordinary coins, unaware of the fortune hidden in plain sight. As we reach the climax of this story, imagine the moment of realization, the first time you recognize an error in a coin you thought was worthless. The heart-pounding excitement. The sheer disbelief. And then, the possibility, selling it, securing your financial future, or holding it as a prized legacy to pass down. The 2008 Mint Mark Arizona quarter is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of possibility, a spark for ambition, and a tangible reminder that extraordinary wealth can come from the most unexpected places. In the end, It's not just about money, it's about discovery. It's about curiosity, attention, and daring to believe that even in the ordinary, the extraordinary can be hiding. The 2008 Arizona quarter waits silently in pockets, drawers, and rolls, a whisper of destiny for those who notice it. And if you're watching this right now, thinking about the coins in your own home, the question remains. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that, at first glance, looks completely ordinary. Just another Washington quarter, minted decades ago. But then, your eyes catch a detail that stops your heart. A tiny mark. A subtle imperfection. A sign that this coin isn't just a coin, it could be a golden ticket worth more than most people make in a lifetime. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of the 1776 to 1976 mint mark Washington quarter, a coin that has captured the imaginations of collectors, investors, and everyday Americans dreaming of striking it rich. Some have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, even up to an eye-popping $890,000 in top condition. Could your change be hiding this kind of fortune? Let's find out. It all begins with history, yet this coin is anything but ordinary. In 1976, the United States celebrated its bicentennial. To mark the 200th anniversary of American independence, the Mint released special quarters featuring a dual date, 1776 to 1976. Instead of George Washington's usual reverse, the quarter showcased an elegant eagle perched on a patriotic torch, flanked by olive branches. Most collectors assumed it was just another commemorative coin. But some of these quarters were anything but standard. Hidden in plain sight, the 1776 to 1976 mint mark quarters harbor secrets that have fueled a modern treasure hunt. There are errors, misstrikes, and anomalies so rare that they turn a simple 25-cent piece into a coin worth millions. Imagine discovering a coin that not only carries history but also carries the potential to change your life forever. Errors in these quarters can range from double dies, repunched mint marks, to even off-center strikes. Each variation tells a story of the human hand behind the machine, of mistakes that the mint never intended to release, but which collectors now prize above all else. And here's where it gets truly shocking. Some of these coins, when authenticated and graded in pristine condition, have hit market prices that seem almost unreal. Reports have surfaced of 1776 to 1976 mint mark quarters commanding staggering sums. One record-breaking sale reached $890,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a quarter that most people would toss into a jar. The question is, how do you know if your own coins might be hiding this kind of treasure? Let's break it down. Start by examining the mint mark. The D indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint. But here's the kicker: on some rare coins, the D is repunched, doubled, or oddly positioned. Hold it under a magnifying glass. Does it look slightly off? Are there signs that the mint mark was struck more than once? This small detail could be the difference between a dime and a fortune. Then, look at the edge of the coin. Is the rim unusually thick or thin? Are there tiny imperfections, like doubled features or missing elements in the design? These anomalies, invisible to most casual observers, are what makes some 1776 to 1976 quarters priceless. Every small irregularity is a clue, a breadcrumb leading collectors closer to the ultimate prize. Now you might be wondering, why would the US Mint allow these errors to slip into circulation? The truth is, humans make mistakes. Thousands of coins are struck every day, and even with strict quality control, a few misstrikes inevitably make it through. But those mistakes, when rare enough, create an entirely new market, one where numismatists pay top dollar for coins that tell a story no ordinary quarter ever could. And here's a twist that will make you look at your coin jar differently. Some of these high-value quarters were never discovered until decades later. People tossed them into change drawers, forgotten under couch cushions, or packed away in attic boxes. The lucky few who recognized the anomaly early saw their modest coins transform into life-altering windfalls. Could that quarter in your pocket be one of them? The suspense builds because not every 1776 to 1976 mint mark quarter is a treasure. Far from it. Most are worth face value, maybe a few dollars to collectors. But that's precisely why the hunt is so thrilling. One wrong look, one overlooked coin, and millions slip away into history. One careful inspection, one second glance, and your ordinary coin could be extraordinary. Imagine the exhilaration of holding a coin graded in top condition by professional numismatists. Every curve, every line, every mint mark scrutinized and authenticated. That's when the quarter transcends its humble beginnings. Reports of $890,000 sales are not urban legends. They are documented proof that these coins can indeed reach the stratosphere of rarity and value. It's enough to make anyone rush to their own collection, eager to inspect what might have been sitting unnoticed all these years. The lesson here is simple, yet profound: wealth, opportunity, and history can be hiding in the most mundane places. The 1776 to 1976 D mint mark quarter is a testament to that truth. A tiny piece of metal, minted in Denver, celebrated for a momentous anniversary, can suddenly become a symbol of fortune, aspiration, and serendipity. Every collector dreams of that one coin, the one that could transform a life overnight. And with the right knowledge, the right eye, and a little bit of luck, that dream is not as far-fetched as it seems. Look at your coins. Examine your change. Check your collections, even if you think there's nothing special. Magnifying glass in hand, study the mint mark, inspect the edges, search for anomalies. Because somewhere in the thousands of quarters minted that year, the 1776 to 1976 D could be hiding, waiting for its moment to shine. In the end, the story of the 1776 to 1976 D mint mark Washington quarter isn't just about money. It's about discovery. It's about curiosity. It's about the thrill of uncovering history with your own two hands. And yes, it's about the possibility that one small coin, one overlooked, underestimated, tiny piece of American history, could hold the key to unimaginable wealth.